Wow, just look at all of these gorgeous blooms. Well, it's clearly fall here at Moss Mountain Farm, but there's something we can learn about gardening in every season. This is Verbena Bonoriensis, sometimes called Peruvian verbena, or I like to call it verbena on a stick, because if you know verbenas, they typically crawl across the ground. But this is really a spectacular plant, and it reseeds regularly here in the garden. So I consider it almost a perennial. It is perennial for us here, but it also reseeds, and if you live north of us, where maybe the plant might die out, the seed will come up in the spring. So that's why I think it's somewhat of a perennial. But the topic today is really this plant, which is a marvelous amaranth. And amaranth is a plant that we can actually eat. It's a tasty plant. The seeds are delicious, the leaves are delicious. I do recommend eating the leaves when they're a little more tender than this, but it's got a nice flavor to it. But I think that really the feast here is the feast for the eyes, don't you think? Look at these gorgeous plumes on it. And I've talked about this before in some of my videos, and but it's a constant comment plant. You know what I'm talking about. People come to see you and they're just constantly arrested. Their attention is grabbed by something gorgeous like this. And these have not really gotten to the point of setting seed yet. And my point about making the connection between the Verbena Bonoriensis and this amaranth is that these are volunteers. They've come back from seed that were dropped here last year. This is not a perennial, it's an annual. And I love the foliage. It has this gorgeous reddish bronze tone to the foliage, so it's very good even before it flowers with these extraordinary plumes. This particular one is called Polish Spirit Amaranth. I think it's called that because there were those incredible sort of Polish military costumes in the 18th century that had gorgeous plumes on them, and I think it suggests this with these incredible flowers. Now, if you're into cutting flowers and bringing them in the house, you probably got your eye on this, and it's a very good plant just for that, and particularly this time of year. It works with so many gorgeous flowers. And to that end, I'd like to go over here on the other side of the lower terrace garden here at Moss Mountain and just show you another group of amaranth. I never know when they're coming up, but or where they're coming up, I've better said. But you can see here's a gorgeous stalk here, and then in front of them you can see the cosmos and the zinnias and the lantana, all these other annuals, and not to mention these beautiful lemon sunflowers that are in bloom back here. So it's a wonderful plant to extend the season. And I suggest if you've got room in your garden for these tall statuesque annuals, tall statuesque edible annuals, that you make room for them. And you can see how well they play with these pink zinnias and other things that are blooming here. And what I like about this time of year is the garden's a little bit of a tumble. I love the stalks here of the lilies. You see, those are the seed heads of the lilies that bloomed back in July. I'm getting off topic here just a little bit and digressing back to the Polish Spirit Amaranth. You can see the plume is just beginning to emerge out of this one. So it's very much a plant I think that you should consider for your garden. And they will bloom through the summer, and you can start them very early on. But these seeds decided to come up a little late. And you know what? I'm glad they did. You are so beautiful. Yes, you are. I'd like to thank First Community Bank for making this video possible and their support of our pollinator community. You can learn more about our Bloom With Us program by going to firstcommunity.net.